Hello guys, welcome back. Now to start off, you're going to be getting this
Something
already
usually
made
keeps me up
hat
in bed
from the
at the beginning of the
market,
week.
and then I put
It
a
was the
molder
beginning of a
under
new
it
week, right? So I wanted to be
just for
very productive.
mobility's sake. Then over it, I'm putting a white lace on top of it. And the next thing I'm going to do is with my scissors, I'm going to be trimming off the excess lace rather. I'll be trimming it all around just to get the shape of the hat that I need, and as well not waste my material. So that's why I'm cutting off the excess now. Next thing you're going to be working with is your UHU glue. Please resist from using your hot glue to make any form, to make this hat, or to make this process rather. Reason being that at some point we are going to be sewing with our sewing machine, and then your needle in your sewing machine cannot work well with hot glue. It won't sew, it won't stick. So work with UHA glue, and then basically what I'm doing is to apply this glue around the base of this circular part just for it to take the shape of this hat. Now, in case you're not able to find this already made hat in the market, of which I know you will if you search for it very well, but in case if you don't see it, another way of making your own hat is by molding it. All you need to do is go to the market, buy a molder that has the same shape as this hat, and then you go ahead and mold with your mat. There is a softer mat in the market. If you don't want to use the regular mat, there's a softer mat in the market. You can mold it. Even a Sinamy can also work. You mold with Sinamy. Please do not put lining underneath it. Just go ahead and mold with the mat. Now the next thing I'm doing now is to apply this UHU glue at the edge of of the hat all around it. Now, once you apply the glue, you glue it down, you go ahead and use your peg to hold it down. You all know that UHU glue do not stick almost immediately. So you will need the help of your peg to peg it down. So basically what I'm doing is to peg it all around, glue it all around and peg it down. So at some point I ran out of my peg. I didn't have enough peg with me. So you'll be seeing me pick from where I've already glued to peg the new ones that I've glued also. So basically what we're doing is glue all around. You need it to take the shape of the hat. Make sure you get every corner, every edge of it. Don't miss out, because if you miss it out, it will be open. So if you find any part that is open, still go ahead and glue it all around. So I won't be saying much, just watch.
All right, for those of you that are just joining me or watching my channel for the first time, I would like you guys to support me and click the subscribe button, share my videos to your friends, and like and comment if you have any questions. Then also, this is a channel where we do all kinds of fascinators. We work with different kinds of ashoke headgear, different designs. I promise you, you're not going to miss out on anything. This is a place where you learn a whole lot. So support this channel by subscribing, liking, sharing, and following me all through. I drop videos every Sunday, and just click that subscribe button. Thank you so much.
So now once I'm done pegging all around and gluing all around, you can go ahead and remove all the pegs that you used to hold it down. At this point, remove all the pegs you used to hold it down, then flip it. Once you flip it, the next thing you're going to be doing is to trim off the excess lace. So you trim very close to the edge, because you don't want it looking tacky, even though we are still going to cover with our bias. So you trim very close to the edge, very tiny little bit. That's what will be left. So next thing we are working with is our bias. Now this is a very tricky one. You know, this is how bias comes, but what you're going to do is open up this bias and fold it into two like this and iron it out. So that's what you're going to be doing. So see, this is what I've done. I've already ironed it out, and this is the outcome. Next thing you're going to do is to put it at the edge of your hat, and then with your sewing machine you're going to sew it all round. The essence of doing this is to give it a clean finish at the edge of our hat, and as well cover that underneath it where we used our scissors to cut off excess lace. So you sew it neatly and it's going to come out fine, trust me. All right, this is what it looks like after you're done sewing. So it's looking clean, it's looking neat. So I prefer to do my own like this instead of just gluing it down. The next thing, you set it aside and we'll be working with our face nets. What we're going to do is form a gathers from the edge of the right hand side down to the left hand side. So you just watch and understand what I'm doing. Using your needle and thread, you see those parts that are together here. That's where I'm putting my needle and passing my needle through. And then you can now go ahead and pass it all through and form your gathers. Once you're done forming your gathers, you don't really need to knot it. You can just carry it like that and place at the on top of your hat where you want your veil net to be. That place I'm pointing, that's actually where I'm going to be, tacking it down. And then remember, when you're tacking it down and passing it underneath, try your best so that your needle will not be showing from underneath and looking too rough. So it's best you make a tiny tiny needle tack so it won't be obvious that you really tacked it down. So just try your best so that the thing will be looking neat, and also make sure that you're using a matching color of thread to do this work. At this point, I'm done tacking. The next thing I'm doing is now to secure my thread. Secure it 3 to 4 times as much as possible. Then cut off the excess thread. Set it aside. And then the next thing I'm working with is this chicken feathers in the market. You know these feathers that they use in making hand fan. Yes, that's what I'm using to decorate it. So I'm cutting it into tiny, tiny pieces. It's not a must you will work with chicken feather. You can use the squirrel stick to design anything of your choice, flowers, anything of your choice. You can use it to design your hat. But in this case, I'm using the chicken feathers to design this hat, and I'm applying my glue generously, and then putting the chicken feathers and arranging it properly the way I want it to look, the way I want it to sit. So there's no rule to this thing. Any way you want to put your own, any way you want to do yours, just go ahead and make it look beautiful and beautify your hat the way you want it. Next, I'll be using these flowers to beautify it more. So I got it in the market. It's just a regular flower, any design of your choice. So I'm gluing it down to cover the base of that chicken feathers that I made, just to go ahead and beautify it more. Like I said, it mustn't really be flowers. Any part of feathers, whatever you feel, that would be fine. So this is it. And then I wasn't okay with the way the chicken feathers was sitting, so I had to trim it off a little bit. So it came out fine, it came out nice. So anyhow you want to do your own, there's no rule. But the fact is that you have a basic knowledge of how to make the hat. Next thing we are going to do is to apply our Alice band, because it's the Alice band that will be sitting on, that you use to sit it firmly and fasten it to the head of your client. So by the side of the Alice band, I applied a little amount of hot glue, and then I'm placing it down to the part where I want it to be. So I think for you, if you want it slanted, if you want it in a circular way, you can go ahead and do this. Now, this is a piece of white ashoke that I have lying around. So I'm just folding in the edges, those places that can fray. You know, ashoke can fray. So I'm using folding it down, using hot glue to glue it down and fold it down, just to cover that part that can fray. Then the essence of this thing I'm doing is to glue down on the Alice band, so the Alice band will not for any reason fall off. So this is another way of securing and fastening down our Alice band to the hat. Now once I'm done, folding down the edges, the next thing I did was to add a generous amount of hot glue on it, and then I'll be placing it firmly on where I put that Alice band, just like you're seeing me do right now. Or I'm just making sure it's firm. You can go ahead and turn it to, at this point, in fact I had to put it on the mannequin head to get the way I want my net to sit. So I placed it like this, tacked my net onto the hat on the left hand side and onto the right hand side. So the way you want it to arrange it and tack it down. So this is the final outcome of this hat. It's not must your hat must be slanted. You can put it in the middle. See you guys in the next class.